When your dog looks up at you, what do you think is going through their mind? You probably assume something simple, that they see their owner, the person who fills the bowl, opens the door, throws the ball. Maybe you think they see a friend, a companion, someone they are glad to be around. And that feels true enough. But science has been quietly dismantling that assumption for decades. And what researchers have actually found is not simpler than what you imagined. It is so much stranger, so much more intimate, and so much more profound that once you understand it, you will never look at your dog the same way again. Because your dog does not see a human when they look at you. They do not even see an owner. What they see is something their biology has been building toward for thousands of years, and most people live their entire lives with a dog without ever knowing what that is. Let us start at the very beginning, with the one sense your dog trusts above all others. 1. Your dog does not just smell you, they experience you. You already know your dog has an extraordinary nose. Most people have heard the statistics. A dog's sense of smell is somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's. That number is so large it stops meaning anything. So let us make it concrete. If you were to take a pot of soup and dilute it in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you would not be able to detect a single molecule. Your dog would. They would not just detect it, they would be able to identify every individual ingredient in that pot separately, at the same time the way you look at a painting and see all the colors at once. 2. Your dog has a sound map of you that no one else can match. There is a moment that most dog owners have experienced, but never quite understood. You are upstairs or in another room, and your dog is completely settled, completely calm. Then, without any warning, without any sound you could detect, they lift their head, stand up, and walk to the door. 30 seconds later, your car turns into the driveway. People write this off as coincidence, or assume their dog heard the car from far away. But researchers decided to test it more carefully. In a series of studies, scientists played recordings of different cars arriving, including the owner's specific car, to dogs waiting at home. The dogs showed a consistent, measurable difference in response when they heard their owner's specific vehicle versus any other car of the same make, model, and engine sound. But the most striking finding came when the same experiment was run without a car at all. Researchers played recordings of the owner's footsteps, their specific gait, the particular rhythm of the way they walk, and compared the response to recordings of strangers walking at the same pace. The dogs knew. They had mapped the sound of their owner so precisely that they could identify them from the acoustics of footsteps alone, and it goes deeper than recognition. Alexandra Horowitz, a dog cognition researcher at Barnard College and the author of Inside of a Dog, has described the way dogs build what she calls an olfactory and acoustic portrait of the people they love. It is not a single data point. It is an accumulated, constantly updated file of sensory information that your dog carries with them at all times. The way you smell in the morning versus after exercise. The particular sound of your breathing when you are asleep versus when you are watching television. The specific frequency of your voice when you are talking to them versus talking to someone else on the phone. Your dog is not just familiar with you. They have built an internal model of you so detailed and so specific that no one else on the planet could match it. 3. Your dog dreams, and the evidence suggests you are in those dreams. If you have ever watched your dog sleep, you have probably seen it. The legs twitching, the soft sounds, the rapid eye movement under closed lids. You have probably wondered what they were dreaming about. The answer, according to research from MIT, is more specific than most people expect. In a series of studies on rats, and later expanded to include dogs, neuroscientists found that the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for storing memories of experiences and places, replays the day's events during REM sleep in extraordinary detail. The patterns of neural activity during sleep were so similar to the patterns recorded during the actual experience that researchers could identify which part of a maze the animal was mentally running through while asleep. When the same framework was applied to dogs, the conclusion was both simple and astonishing. Dogs dream about the things and the beings they spent their day with. And for a dog who lives with you, who orbits your presence from the moment they wake up to the moment they settle at your feet at night, the most dominant figure in that daily experience is you. Matthew Wilson, one of the neuroscientists behind the MIT research, put it plainly. He said that animals are thinking about and re-experiencing the events of their waking lives while they sleep. For your dog, that waking life is built almost entirely around you. The walk you took together, the moment you sat beside them on the floor, the way you called their name when you came home. Think about what that actually means. Your dog does not just interact with you during the hours you are together. They return to you when they close their eyes. While their body rests and their brain consolidates the experiences of the day, the presence they are most likely rehearsing, reliving, and processing is yours. You are not just a feature of their waking world, you are part of their sleeping one too. And if you are sitting with your dog right now watching them dream, there is a real scientific basis for believing that somewhere inside that sleep, they are with you. 4. The way your dog plays with you is unlike anything else in their life. Watch your dog play with another dog. Then watch your dog play with you. If you pay close attention, you will notice something that most owners miss entirely because they are too busy enjoying the moment to analyze it. The play is not the same. It does not follow the same rules, does not use the same signals, and does not produce the same behavior. And researchers who study dog play behavior have found that the difference is not incidental. It is fundamental. When dogs play with other dogs, the interaction is governed by a highly structured set of social protocols. Play bows to signal intention, deliberate role reversals where the stronger dog allows the weaker dog to win, careful calibration of bite pressure, pauses to check whether the other dog is still comfortable with the intensity. It is elaborate, nuanced social choreography that dogs learn over years of interaction with their own kind. But when your dog plays with you, something different happens. Studies observing human-dog play interactions found that dogs modify their behavior in specific and consistent ways when their play partner is human. They initiate more frequently. They check in more often, breaking off the play to make eye contact with you, confirming your engagement, gauging your emotional state before continuing. They are more tolerant of broken rules, more forgiving when you misread a signal or play too rough or stop abruptly. What the researchers concluded was not simply that dogs enjoy playing with humans, it was that dogs have developed a separate mode of social interaction specifically designed for us. A mode that is more patient, more attentive, and more emotionally oriented than the play they engage in with their own species. Your dog is not treating you like a fellow dog when you play together. They are engaging with you through a framework they evolved specifically because of you. Because humans matter to them in a category that nothing else occupies. And this is where everything starts to come together. Because when you take the chemistry, the sound map, the dreams, and the play behavior and you line them up side by side, a single picture emerges. One that science has been assembling piece by piece for decades, and that most dog owners never get to see in full. 5. What you actually are to your dog. In 2015, a neuroscientist named Gregory Burns published findings from a years-long study in which he trained dogs to lie still inside an MRI scanner while conscious, without sedation, and without restraint. What he wanted to understand was what was actually happening inside a dog's brain during real experiences, not inferred from behavior, observed directly from neural activity, and what he found reshaped the scientific conversation about what dogs are and what we are to them. When dogs were shown objects associated with their owners, clothing, personal items, things that carried the owner's scent, the caudate nucleus in their brain lit up. The caudate nucleus is the same structure in the human brain associated with anticipation, love, and the expectation of things that matter deeply. But the finding that stopped people was not just which region activated. It was the consistency of it. Every dog, every trial, the same region, the same response. Not a flicker, a flood. Burns wrote that the data suggested dogs are not simply responding to owners as sources of food and shelter. They are responding to them the way humans respond to the people they love most. And then there was the oxytocin finding. Published in the journal Science, the study showed that when dogs and their owners made sustained eye contact, both species experienced a significant rise in oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that connects a mother to a newborn child in the first hours of life, the same chemistry that underlies human romantic love, deep friendship, the irreplaceable sense of being known by someone. Your dog looks into your eyes and their brain releases that, and yours does too. It is a loop, a biological feedback cycle of bonding that your dog can trigger simply by looking at you. And that loop, that chemistry, that neural activation, it did not happen by accident. It happened because your dog evolved specifically for it. 15,000 years of living alongside humans built an animal whose brain is calibrated to you in a way that has no parallel anywhere else in the animal kingdom. So when your dog follows you from room to room for no reason, they are not being needy. They are following the thing their brain is built to stay close to. When they sleep pressed against you on the coldest nights, it is not about warmth. It is about you specifically. When they hear your footsteps in the hallway and their whole body changes before you have even opened the door, that is not a trained response. That is 10,000 years of evolution expressing itself in real time. Your dog does not see a human when they look at you. They do not see an owner, a provider, or a caretaker. They see the one presence their entire neurology was shaped by thousands of years of history to find, to follow, and to love in the most complete way their biology allows. They do not have a word for what you are to them. They do not need one. Every time they choose your side of the room, every time they bring you something for no reason, every time they look up at you with that specific quality of attention that belongs to you alone, they are answering the question, what are you to your dog? You are the whole world they built their brain around, and they have been telling you that every single day.